Hey everybody, Kevin here, Brown's Homestead Harvest House, down in Brown's Butcher Block, right by the house here. This is a follow-up to the elk that we got in from Montana 12 days ago. I'm just now going to be working on the back straps. They've been aged for 12 days. We can go longer, but this is fine. You can age them however long you want, but 12, it's usually about 14, 16 days, but I'm at 12, and because we've got to keep it moving and get Jesse back his elk. But I'm going to show you what I did. So this is just a burger, and when you trim up these back straps, you're going to have obviously some trim and clean up, and you're going to be discarding stuff. So what I'm going to show you is, and we'll throw it into the burger pile, or you can make like stew meat or pasty meat, or, you know, out of some of the nice cut off this back strap so it's tender and stuff like that, if there's enough, and you can compile a pile of it. Usually we try to get about a pound of some really good meat for stew or pasty meat. So this is a back strap, and I'm going to come around a different angle. This is the back strap, and they've been hanging in the refrigerator for, like I said, 12 days at 36 degrees. And you'll see where it, you know, it blackens up and the moisture content starts to, it gets removed. So this may say, let's just say this weighed 20 pounds. By the end of it, you'll probably be down to about 17% or 17 pounds and lose your water weight. The enzymes start breaking down the meat, the muscle fiber and such like that. So this is, they're about 41 inches. They could have been about 43, but they, you know, depends on where you cut it down the spine. But these were 41-inch long back straps off this 6x6 Montana elk. So what I'll do is I'll clean these up, which this is the other back strap that I've cleaned up. So, you know, you got to clean up all the sinew, the aged meat on the other side where it came off the spine. It has to be cleaned up, you know. So people go, well, the back strap was the size, you know, round as a bowling ball. Well, hey, that's great. If you want that, I can give that to you. But you don't. You got to trim stuff off, so you're going to lose a lot. Not a lot, but you'll lose. And your steaks, and I will show you now, are always a little smaller than you think. You know, you go from that, and they end up being, these are 1.25 inch thick steaks that I cut them, about 1.25 inch, 1 3/8 right through there. And, you know, they're only probably 5 inches long, but they're really nice. They're a nice, starting to get maroon color to them. So you go from that, and this is the same end. This is the end off it. So these steaks right here came from right here, you know, so I'll trim it up, clean it up, and then we start cutting them this way. And you can get your steaks. This is basically, this chunk right here is from right about here. And then I can cut them up. You know, this is where I'll cut them. Boom, 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 like that. This is off the tail end, the chuck end right here. And it has 2 muscles that come here. I'm not sure what names they are again. But then you can either trim this off, and then your steaks even get smaller because you're trimming stuff off. But you can use this as like a prime rib, you know, reverse sear it, then bake it to 120, and then like a prime rib, let it roast, put your seasonings all over the thing, butter and stuff, and then cook it to about internal temp, 120, 122, let it come out, rest for half an hour, then cut your steaks off, and it's like a prime rib. Same way with this, the middle part of the back strap. So that's what you can do with these. Some people butterfly them to widen them out. You know, you make a slit diagonal and then straight, and it butterflies it out. But these are the 2 back straps. The knives that I use for this is this is my Victoria knife, or my Forstner sharpening steel. It's a fine diamond steel. This is the Forstners. Yeah, these are Victoria Knox. This one I use for trimming the lengthwise and stuff and filleting stuff off because it's a nice 12-inch blade. This is my butcher knife. It's a 12-inch blade. And you can use your curved Skinner, or I'm sorry, boner knife to do that. I like using a straight edge because then I can get it and it doesn't have that curve, and I don't have to manipulate the blade as much. Sometimes you get lazy after 25 elk, but And then this is a 8-inch, 6-inch Forstner, wood handled, flexible boner. There's stiff boners, there's flexible boners, and that's just what they're called. So, yeah, and this is what I can use to do some fine tuning and trimming of just little areas. When it gets down to this, you know, it's a little easier for the blade to get through the length of the meat. So there you go, 2 back straps off of a Montana elk. This is only 1 tub of the burger. We have 3 tubs. It looks like it's gonna be about 125 pounds of just burger alone, 130 pounds of burger. And then he's got his backstrap steaks, his round steaks also. So good haul. It aged up nicely, and yeah, great steaks. And remember, don't overcook wild game. Medium at the most, medium rare. You know, you see there's no fat on these things. There is no marbling in here. And that's why they're so lean, they're healthy. On some scales, elk meat is the healthiest meat on the planet. But there's no marbling. So when you cook these things, like some people try to cook a traditional steak, these things are gonna shrivel up and look like a frickin' M&M, and then they're gonna chew like a frickin' old chunk of boot leather. So don't overcook. Spice them up a little bit, you know, enjoy the flavor of the wild game. Elk is, some people say, the best. Moose is really good. Deer, people have their preference, but see, there's no marbling on these things, so you really got to watch, you know, how you cook them. So excellent meat. If you ever have the chance to eat elk, if you're not a wild game eater, take a bite and see what you think. 99% of the taste is preparation. You know, how they handle it in the field, the temperatures, how they cool it down, how quick they get it to the processor or into the freezer or cooled down and just taken care of properly. You know, a lot of people go out there, oh, I'm you know, hunting, and then they shoot it and they don't like research or know the rest of the story. So just, it's all good, but try to always cool the meat down, the hide and everything, like I've said before, and never put it in plastic until it's cooled or frozen. Like paper bags, plastic bags. So anyways, hey, thanks for tuning in. And we'll have some more videos down here in the Butcher Block as we go. Have a great weekend. See you soon.